Segregation ended over 50 years ago, yet we still haven't stopped discriminating. When we walk down the streets and see that black person, we clench our purses, and in school, we hold them to low standards. Why? When something gets misplaced, we look at the black kid. Why? Isn't this considered bullying? John Steinbeck wrote on and on about crooks being the black guy in Of Mice and Men. We always hear crooks saying, "Is it 'cause I'm black?" and "'cause I'm black." This was okay during the Depression, but we still do this in the 21st century. How would you feel if this happened to you? What would you do if you were in their shoes? John Steinbeck understood their point of view and wrote it all down in Of Mice and Men. 50 years since segregation has ended, but this country still hasn't had a change. There are so many campaigns to stop bullying, but why doesn't anybody say something on racism?
Racism and bullying are closely related and are difficult to distinguish from one another. In John Steinbeck's novel, Of Mice and Men, there are many instances where bullying occurs, but one moment that stood out to me was in Chapter 4, where we find the guys in the barn and unwelcomed woman, which is Curly's wife. We couldn't find a clip from the version watched in class, but we will display the scene from a more recent rendition of Mice and Men because it holds the quote word by word in chapter.
Rabbits myself.
I had enough. You got no rights coming in a colored man's room. In fact, you got no rights messing in here at all. Now you just go on out and go on out quick. And if you don't, I might ask the boss to not ever let you come here.
Listen, nigger, you know what I could do if you open up your trap. You know what I could do?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you keep your place then, nigger. I'll get you strung up a tree so easily it ain't funny.
Yes, ma'am.
Crooks tries to stand up for himself as a colored person, but Curly's wife, she shuts him down. Using intimidation. Does this sound familiar? Because it should. This is one of the ways today's bullies establish themselves as superior to the victim.
It's not racist. That was a proper term to address a black-skinned person in that day and age.
Possibly, but it was used to address slaves. Crooks wasn't a slave. He was born and raised in California. Curly's wife even said how easy it was to get him hanged.
Oh, sure. But did you know that...
You know what? You be quiet. This is part of the rant. The point is that racism and bullying are very similar. And if that situation were to happen today, it would be considered a hate crime.